Hey there, Birds and Players. On this episode of Birds and Players, we talk about how physical games are dumb and GameStop died yesterday. This is Birds and Plays.
To see if
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
That was a quick cut. Birds and Play, Season 2, Episode 8. I'm your host
How do you
with the
keep track
most.
of that?
Up 9.
Shit. I'm John Tyler McCrone, joined by
Look at it.
and
Pierce Turner.
Pierce Turner. As we said in the intro, physical games, the discs are getting snapped in half, they're getting cut, they're
What do
getting
you mean by
smushed.
this?
I don't think that's happening.
Tell me.
GameStop, their stock dropped 9%. Logan, tell us why.
Xbox, Microsoft announced this wonderful new Xbox Games program, which is essentially Netflix for video games, which I'm very excited about.
This sounds like that thing that PlayStation does.
Yeah, and the thing that
But better.
another person did, I forget.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, go
Okay,
ahead. So,
all right.
Somebody else
what
show
is it
to.
then?
So
Yay.
let's talk about it in reference to what you're talking about,
That doesn't count.
which is PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now came out 2014.
PlayStation Now is PlayStation bad.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, when it
It's-
came out,
When it came out, it had like 350 games. All of them were like PS3, PS Vita type things. You could stream it to your PS4, your PS3, or your PS Vita. And it's it's a fun, exciting thing. Like it's a cool thing to do.
gotten
It
a
was
bit better
it's gotten
for-
better. There's been 100 more games added, but it's
Last
still
of Us is on there.
it's overpriced and it's not.
It's
it
way
doesn't feature recent games. What the
And it's
Xbox-
got latency because it streams.
and it's
Yeah.
got really
What a
bad
dumb,
latency.
dumb.
What
Yeah.
the Xbox Game Pass
Dumb thing.
does is gives you an access to 100 plus games, recent
Wow.
games, and lets
Yeah.
you download all of them.
Wow.
And another reason that the PS Now comparison is super relevant is because when PS Now was announced, GameStop stock, once again, like it tanked,
Tanked.
I think like 6 or 7 points, I want to say.
That time, I don't
don't
know
know.
the specific, but it tanked again.
It
What,
tanked again.
what's the price?
But the other thing is it tanked, like the stock price tanked again when EA Access was announced.
Yeah.
It tanked again. So it's tanking.
Okay, tank is a strong word.
Tank.
Okay. Overall, in the past like decade or so, because of streaming service, because of the prominence of digital games, GameStop stock has dropped overall about 50%. Like it's
Yeah,
been a
over the last 10 years.
huge decline.
Where am I going to buy my Pokemon mugs?
Oh no!
know my Pokemon
What a
mug.
tragedy! Maybe every other
over there.
online store.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
So,
the other thing.
they-
like we were in a GameStop last week,
Yeah.
and I was surprised, because I haven't been in one in like 6 years, I was surprised by the amount of physical merchandise they had. And you told me this is kind of what they have to do
They're
now,
j- well,
because they're
because
not selling games.
They're not selling new games. Well, you have Amazon, who with Amazon Prime, you get the 20% off. Best Buy, if you buy a $30 Gamers Club Unlocked membership, that's 2 years worth of discounted games for 20% of all games, not just new games. So they're facing stiff competition. Besides the fact, downloadable games are getting cheaper and cheaper. And the moment that companies decide, hey, we don't need GameStop, GameStop's done with
I don't know
games.
if companies decide is the right word, because they don't get
What about tank?
a lot of their money from new games. They get most of the money from used games.
They get all their money from
All
GameStop
the
does,
money from
but
those
here's
games.
here's the problem. If they stop making physical media and they say, hey, all digital games are $10 cheaper
Oh, I
now,
see what you're saying.
you're going to be enticed to buy the digital games instead of the physical.
But then where am I going to buy my Ezio mugs and my Ezio statues?
Oh
and
no,
my Ezio
from
t-shirts?
probably from the
Etsy.com.
Ubisoft store or something.
Yeah,
like
from
that.
Etsy.
from a bunch of online services.
No, but the thing about the Xbox Games Pack, getting back to the topic,
Yeah.
is that $9.99 a month is fantastic.
Wait,
That's
for
the-
$9.99 a month?
Yeah.
for good quality games.
So wait, you're telling me it's $9.99 a month. It has more games,
Gears
and
of
it's
War.
you download them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's
there's
like
no latency. You have the whole
PlayStation
thing.
Now,
yeah.
but good.
it's good.
So
Yeah.
you know how PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live, you get the free games every month? This is essentially that, except
But more.
Yeah, because you get to have the full breadth of experience
Yeah.
as long as you keep
Wait,
the
what's the catch?
subscription.
There is no catch.
The-
There's always a
That's the
catch.
thing. Well, the catch is you got to buy an Xbox.
Here's the catch. Well,
Oh.
yeah.
The dumb tish.
No, here's the catch though. Just like Netflix, if something goes out of the subscription service, it's gone.
Yeah.
All your save data will carry over, which is a great thing. So you can always rebuy the game. But say, okay, so Halo 5 is supposed to be one of the entry titles into this, right? Say Halo 5 comes out of the subscription program. I doubt it will because it's a first-party thing, but regardless. All your save data from that will stay. The problem is you'll have to rebuy the game if it's taken out of the subscription, just like when Netflix removes and adds title. The good thing is here, with that system, you're always going to have a new flow of games that you can
But
play.
you would think like how Netflix doesn't remove Netflix original shows and movies, Xbox's thing won't remove
Yeah.
Xbox exclusives.
And that's the ones that you're going to want the most, too.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, they also have like the upres games. Like I remember in the ad they had like the Gears of War regular version, then they had the Xbox One version.
Wait,
So, like,
360 games are on this too?
Yeah. And if they can be, they're upres.
What's the point?
What do you mean,
I mean, what's the point of even living PlayStation now? Like, what are you even
yeah,
doing?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the thing,
if
too.
PlayStation Now can be good, you know.
This
not,
is the game changer that Microsoft needs, honestly. Like
game changer.
It's not going to affect this
Hashtag
console
game
generation,
changer.
right? But the next console generation, when Xbox is supposed to be completely backwards compatible, they could start adding original Xbox games, more Xbox 360 games. You know, keep updating this library, make it the subscription service. That would make it worthy for me to just buy an Xbox One because I'm not out to play the latest and greatest in Xbox thing. Like I'm pretty dedicated on PS4 and PC already. So if I can get this service for $9.99 a month, especially as a broke college student, that's a ton of games I can play every month and just try it out.
I mean, I think they're really like setting it up where like when the Scorpio releases and whenever the next PlayStation releases, those are really set to be online primary devices.
Yeah.
And I think when those come out, that's when we're going to see GameStop really just kind of
It's
collapse
just like,
as a
I
company.
don't know, backwards compatibility, Xbox is killing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, PlayStation, like, you can't play
I'm
PS1,
pissed
2, or
I got-
3. Like, what is it? This doesn't even
Yeah.
make any sense.
No.
This doesn't make, like, you know you can't.
Those are some of the
They
best
just don't let you.
games.
What?
Some of the best games.
Yeah,
PS2.
exactly. And like,
Mercenaries.
I don't know what I mean, I guess there's
Wallace
some
and
reasoning
Gromit?
like, oh, well, if we don't make it backwards compatible,
Yeah.
maybe they'll buy an old system. But like, what? So,
No, but here's the thing. Like, I ended up having to buy a PS3 game because I had traded in for an Xbox One, and I got really upset because I was like,
you bought a PS3 game?
I bought a PS.
Pay for an Xbox One?
No, okay. When I got my Xbox One back in 2014, I traded in my PS3 and all my games. Very regrettable.
Oh, never forget.
The
bad
Xbox
idea.
ended up being the same thing as the PS4 for me, so I was
brick.
just like, I don't really want this anymore, so I traded it back in and then bought a PS3
And
again.
then bought
with
3
less
Wii
games.
And
U's.
then bought
Yeah.
3 Wii U's.
Killing it. No, but the point is, like, I wish I would have kept my Xbox because there were so many backwards compatible titles
Yep.
that I could have had the chance to play, but it just wasn't
Well,
announced to
that's
that
kind
point.
of also another
And also
problem.
Rise.
And also Rise
Son of Rome.
No,
Yeah.
never played that.
But that was kind of a
Right.
problem with like Xbox getting out the gate, where a lot of the good things came later. So you know that kind of hurt them. But, it
But
also
this
kinda
is
helped
this
them.
is the point for
No,
Scorpio.
the best thing came first. Rise was a launch title.
Rise was a launch title.
this.
But you're right. Like they're setting up very, very well to make the Scorpio a very good
If
release.
Scorpio launches, they won't have to worry about
What do
having
you mean
this
if it
huge,
launches?
If Scorpio
It's just
launches,
like somebody puts the abort button and all Scorpios explode.
What I meant to say is if it launches this year.
Yeah.
Because we don't.
As planned.
They've said as planned, but we don't know an exact timetable. We'll find out more at E3 in
Major
June this
Nelson
year.
could just walk up and kick down the Scorpio door and be like,
Good.
redo it.
Phil
Redo
Spencer
it all."
could just open up his blazers and scorpions will fly out
But
of
the
them.
point is, they can avoid what Nintendo is going through right now, which is a lack of launch titles for the Switch, by having this huge subscription back
You know-
catalog of games that you can play from day one.
Something that's
Day one.
interesting about the Switch, which kind of fits into the conversation, so I'm going to say it, is a couple days ago, I was looking on Reddit, and I went to the Nintendo Switch subreddit, and I saw, like, in one day, like, within the 3 or 4 hours, like, 10 games that were announced for the Switch, like, digital copies. It was, like, Mr. Swifty, Overcooked, Enter the Gungeon. Like,
You're
really
making
good,
those names up.
really good, like,
Those are all made up.
third-party indie titles that are just getting on the Switch, and my question is, like, why aren't those announced, you know, earlier?
Well,
When
I
people
don't
were
think they had
putting
those.
the
I don't think they
console.
had those deals done. I think
Probably
they
not.
realized that they didn't have enough games. They're like, crap, let's get
They
a bunch
start
of
throwing
ports.
money at a bunch of weird
But
college kids
every
that are
game that
making
you
weird
play-
games.
Gungeon.
Every game that you've listed is already out on multiple other consoles.
Yeah,
I've written about this before, and we've talked about this before. Like half of the Nintendo Switch launch title, I think 6 out of like the 12 or 14 launch titles for the Switch have been released previously.
But I mean, come on, Binding of Isaac on the PC versus mobile, you're gonna do mobile.
Yeah, and
No-brainer.
why would you play any of these games anywhere else when you can play them on the Switch where you can go?
Tink? Tink?
That thing, yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay,
don't
but
know.
talking about,
But GameStop, is it gonna fail in the next 5 years?
I hope so.
I think so.
I'll
You
say
hope
this.
So.
I'll say this. I worked at GameStop.
Oh yeah.
It was a dark period of my life.
a bad
I'll
company.
tell you what they do behind the scenes because I don't have any contracts with them anymore.
They kill monkeys.
So what they do is they slaughter animals in the back room. You know when you see an employee of GameStop go to the back room, they're like, oh, I gotta check something.
just
What
slit
they
a
do is they
monkey's
actually
throat.
slit a goat's head off and sacrifice it to Satan.
and that's how you get.
And that's the circle
Yeah.
of life.
And then
for
they
them.
and then
how you
Satan
get
goes,
pre-orders.
sell them pre-owned games and a membership and a Game Informer magazine. And you come out and they give you that spiel, and then you're like, why am I in GameStop? And all these evil people are looking at you like,
See, I found a way to game the system
That was
because
weird.
they make their money.
I'm
off
just saying, that's what I saw.
They make their money off of pre-owned games, so all I
Yeah.
ever do is trade them in for cash and then never shop there. That's the way to do it,
You
folks.
pay $6, get 5 on the
You're
rebound.
not. You're not
making
proof. You're
money.
not being smart. They don't give you a lot of cash.
They gave me a decent amount last week.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
gonna, they've upped their game, but the problem is GameStop has such a negative connotation already, and when you factor in the fact that they're going to be more and more expensive as the years go on.
Because they had to adjust.
Because they're offering physical
Yeah.
media more than any other company at this point. And they've dabbled into other things, like they've dabbled into game
physical media,
publishing.
as in like little Five Nights at Freddy's bobbleheads.
No, the discs.
Yeah.
Oh, and that too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Physical goods, physical merchandise.
yeah.
When most gamers are gravitating towards
Digital.
downloads because one, it's cheaper, and two, it's just easier to
Pokemon
obtain.
cock socks.
Yeah.
Well, do you think like this is? I don't think it's gonna happen. But do you think like GameStop will transition to a full like physical just merchandise, not even like bother to sell games?
Well, they have
in the next couple
ThinkGeek,
years?
which
Like
is
a
part
Toys R
of
Us?
their.
Yeah.
ThinkGeek is part of GameStop's thing, and ThinkGeek is nothing but physical game merchandise.
Is
So
ThinkGeek
I think.
owned by GameStop?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think.
And ThinkGeek makes a lot of money.
I think that
Yeah.
GameStop
Didn't know
needs
that.
to make a radical transformation in what they do, and we've seen in the past them
Extreme.
they're trying to sell used digital
GameStop brought
games
to you by
back
tornadoes.
Used what?
Used digital games back to you, which
Yeah.
I don't know how that system would work, but
weird.
that's something they could do. But at the end of the day, I don't think GameStop's going to be around by the time 2025 rolls
Yeah,
around.
because I mean, I don't think I think pre-orders are kind of like dropping
like
off in
it-
popularity. Physical media just in general is dropping in popularity.
It's like the dystopian future of like the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
GameStop is the only thing that's still up, like in a desert full of like skeletons.
Well, like basically, like the three mainstays, like the special edition, like physical stuff, physical copies and pre-orders, they're all kind of falling off in popularity. So I really don't see,
Or they're cheaper.
or they're cheaper online anyway.
Yeah.
Like I really don't see how GameStop can,
Well, because I just think like when I go to Amazon and I wanted to buy the Horizon Zero Dawn Collector's Edition, right?
Yeah.
$120 at GameStop plus
I
tax,
can't believe
right?
you didn't buy it.
I'm broke, so I spent too much on a laptop.
And then you dropped it.
Yeah, then I dropped it. But I go onto Amazon and it's 20% off because I have Amazon
you have the
Prime.
Prime thing.
So it's like $95. That's like almost a $30 difference. There's no reason for me to go into the nasty, smelly, stupid GameStop
there's a
when I can just get it shipped to my
crying,
house.
There's a baby crying.
There's always a
and
smell
this guy
in
tries to sell you a
GameStop.
Game Informer magazine.
And I don't want to, but I have to. There was a time where I worked in GameStop. I worked in there right
True
as
story.
the PS. This is a true story. Right as the PS4 and Xbox One came out, and this mom came in with her kid, and she was like, "Oh, I want to get my son some PlayStation 3 games," and I was like, "Did you know that there's a PlayStation 4?" And she was like, "No," and I sold her this PS4. I sold her pretty much every launch title, including Knack.
Yep.
And,
No.
And they went
You
bankrupt
dirty,
3 weeks
dirty
later.
boy.
Yeah, and she spent like $600 in there. And then my manager was like, "Oh, good job, but you forgot to sell her the membership." So that basically
right?
sums up my experience at GameStop.
Gotta love it.
He took out the Wario kind of Ninetales and just started hitting
He
you
just started hitting me on the bum.
with Wario brand.
And then I went into the back room and
did the goat thing.
killed a
No,
duck.
I'm
killed a duck.
not a fan of people losing their jobs ever. But the fact is, GameStop has been a crappy company for a while. They've had crap new business company, policies
Practices.
for a while. And if the Xbox Games Pass, which is going to be a better choice for consumers, can kind of speed up that process a little bit, I don't really have a problem with
I
it.
don't like people losing their jobs either, but you're right. Like when a new product comes along that makes everything better, I have a hard time not buying into that system versus just I want to give this guy a job.
That's
for
the
6
definition. I mean,
months.
that's the definition of capitalism. If it's cheaper and better, why not go for the other thing?
Cha-ching, put money in my
So.
eyes. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on GameStop versus Xbox controversy?
Honestly, I don't like either, but I really, really hope GameStop loses.
Yep. Anything you want to say to the kids?
GameStop's going to be dead by 2025.
Dead.
Just
That long?
DED.
I think it's gonna be way
You
sooner.
heard it here first, folks.
I think it could be sooner, but here's the thing. I think they're going to have that long stretch out where they start cutting off a few stores at a time
yeah.
and do that kind of thing. Because
They're not gonna Circuit
it's a
City
company that's been around for, they're not going to be like, let's have Verizon buy us out and then have it not work out and then Circuit City's dead.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you know how like all the movie stops are like actually like literally dying?
Yeah.
What if that actually happens to GameStop? I can't even like imagine. That's like so surreal to even think of.
It's so weird because it's
That'd
been
be
a staple,
crazy.
but
Yeah, but it's a sucky staple.
That'd be so
Who
cool.
cares? This has been Birds of Play. I think it's a good thing a good ending.
This
Say
has been
GameStop
Birds of
sucks.
Play.
We might play some video games on the second half of the show. I don't
let's do
know.
it.
We might not be able to get it working because it's kind of a weird system. Just in case we don't, I'm John Starlin McCrone.
Logan Anstep.
Pierce Turner.
This has been Birds of Play. See you next time, Birds of Players.
Don't buy a Switch.
Buy drugs.
No.
Yes.
Don't
2 weeks
do
in a
that.
row.
Just don't buy a
Drugs.
Switch.
2 weeks in a row, we talk about buying drugs.
Hey,
This is gonna look really good when we go to apply
gonna
for
snort
companies.
Some
We're like,
mushrooms on my butt. Gonna eat some crack in my mouth. Gonna fucking put some heroin in a fork and
I can't
put
wait
it
till like
in
I'm at
my
a
ear.
job position, they open a laptop, it's just me doing
no,
this.
I'm so excited to submit this as part of my resume for like a company, and then be like, so why do you guys talk about drugs so much?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, when you apply for Nintendo, and they're like,
Oh, when you apply for Nintendo Power.
yeah, Nintendo Power.
Oh, that's been dead since 2011. Dude, that
Revived
used to be
Nintendo
my
Power.
That was my thing.
Yeah, I
That magazine
know.
was
It was
great.
everybody.